Okay, for the record, this is not a blind reaction to the Hogwarts Legacy State of Play. I have already seen this, but I am very excited, and there are things that I really want to discuss and to talk about. So we're just going to start, and we're going to break it down as we go along.
Lumos.
Pretty classic opening to Harry Potter.
What do you think you're doing here, humans?
I am so excited about centaurs! Hold on. Okay, I don't know what that thing was. That looked like a troll or an ogre? Hold on. Can I get on there? What is that? Ah, that looks like a troll. Like the bathroom troll. Interesting. Okay. So we're having dark creatures come out of the woodwork here? Dragons. I love the dragons. I don't know what this thing is, but I love it. I love it. I feel like we should know what that thing is. I think that is in the Magical Beasts book. I just can't place what it is. Yeah, it looks... See, this is not a courtyard from the movies. I don't remember that. So it looks like, oh, there's the greenhouses. It looks like they've maybe taken some of their own inspiration. They're not trying to go with the movies directly, which is totally fine. I am 100% for that. Looks like that might be the boathouse back there. Don't know what this tower is over here.
Welcome to Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, there's the bridge. There's the classic movie bridge right there. And the clock tower. Okay, so we do have movie elements. This is interesting. It looks beautiful.
You're a new student at the famed School of Witchcraft and Wizardry with a unique ability to manipulate powerful ancient
No
magic
idea what that is.
hidden in the wizarding world. You'll need to uncover what's behind the return of this forgotten magic and who is seeking to harness it to destroy wizard kind, as you may be the one that decides the fate of the entire wizarding world.
Okay, so ancient magic in the Harry Potter universe is stuff that is woven into like the fabric of reality. So really the only instance we have of it is Harry's mother dying for him and then bestowing magically this protection on him that just happens. It's not a spell that she did. It was just her love and her sacrifice magically made this imprint on him. And that's really the only instant of this ancient natural magic that just is part of the fabric of the world that we get. So somehow we as a student at Hogwarts have come in contact with this ancient magic and can wield it. I have no idea what that is going to look like. It sounds interesting. I'm interested to see in how they work with that story wise, because how do you wield a force like that? It's an interesting concept.
But before you can study magic and begin to solve these mysteries, you must create the witch or wizard you want to be.
So I did hear some people being a little disappointed with this character creator. Admittedly, we don't get a lot of it. It does look like we could do scars, which is cool. Personally, for me, character creation is not a big deal. Like, as long as I can change hair color and eye color and skin tone, and you give me some preset faces to choose from, that's all I need. I don't need a really robust character system where I can change all aspects of the face, like cheekbones and nose and chin, and get really in depth. So this is fine. Like, if this, I do wonder if it's more robust than this and we just aren't seeing it. But if it is just this, I have no problem with this, personally.
When you arrive at Hogwarts, you will be sorted into one of the 4 Hogwarts houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin. After you settle into your dormitory, you will meet up with your housemates in the common room.
I'm going Hufflepuff,
You will then need to attend
100%.
classes, and you do have some catching
There
up
we
to
go. I wanted the Hufflepuff common room. There we go. It's like the one common room we get no glimpse of in the books, and I'm so excited. Hufflepuff, all the way. If you are Hufflepuff, please sound off in the comments. I want to say hello to you. Also, the FAQ for the game states that we will be able to choose our houses. I know some people want a quiz. I kind of wish that they could implement a quiz for people who would want that, but then also, give you the choice if you want to just be able to directly choose. I don't care one way or another, because I know if I have a quiz, I'll be in Hufflepuff anyway, so whatever. But, so excited!
Catching up to do as you were starting Hogwarts late as a 5th year.
How does the logistics of starting as a 5th year when you have no prior magical training? I assume that there's magical detections that detect that you are of magical ability and then enroll you or write your name down for possible enrollment when you turn 11, like way early. So we as a character didn't have magical aptitude, I would assume. And now all of a sudden, due to our interaction with this ancient magic in whatever form that took, now we suddenly do. So I understand the need for magical training, and I understand not putting you in the first years, although I imagine that sorting ceremony where you're walking in with the first years and you're 15 years old. But it's also like, how are we supposed to catch up? There's 5 years of training, and are we going to have to take owls? Like, this is our first year of Hogwarts, and we're going to have to take these high aptitude tests. I don't know. I kind of do want to take owls. I don't know if that's going to be part of this game, but I kind of do. I guess this ancient magic that we've tapped into has, you could argue, sped up our ability or something. I don't know, but it's interesting. And the dynamics with meeting these new characters as a new 5th year student is like just the social stigma and issues that puts in on you as a teenager. We'll see if any of that plays out, but it's interesting to think about.
So you are the new student.
You'll begin your studies attending
Herbology!
charms, defense against the dark arts, herbology, and potions classes, to name a few.
Oh, hello.
I don't know who this teacher is, but I love her.
Class, please welcome the newest rose in our garden.
Shall we begin? Welcome to year 5 of charms. Now, this will be a crucial year.
So it looks like now that I'm noticing this, they have all the houses, because this looks yellow and this looks like Slytherin. I could be interpreting. Yeah, this is Hufflepuff. This is Slytherin. In the books, you have classes with one other house. It's not all the houses in classes at once. It looks like they're doing all the houses in classes at once, which makes way more sense if we can be any house that we want.
In your education on the art of charm work, but I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge.
The best way to practice is by dueling.
Yes, okay, so this is Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, Slytherin, yeah, okay.
We'll start with you two.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Ravenclaw. Classic movie moment.
You may begin.
Not bad for a beginner.
It'll be interesting to see how spells work in this game. Like, are we just button mashing? What is the UI of selecting spells and doing spells? Do we have, like, a wheel that we're choosing from? How is this gonna work out? How's this gonna feel? I'm very interested in that.
Potions is one of the most challenging and hazardous subjects taught at this school.
Here you'll meet your professors and learn to cast spells, grow magical plants, brew potions.
And how are the classes going to work? Because traditionally, the Harry Potter games don't necessarily do the class part very well. It's like press A to grind potion, press B to stir potion. Like, it's not particularly engaging, and it usually just kind of glosses over the classes in the Harry Potter games, because you kind of, mechanically, they haven't been interesting to do. And so I'm a little, I have faith that these guys can make it work, but I'm also concerned because we haven't seen it work well. So I'm excited, but I'm also concerned. I just don't know how this is going to work out, and they don't show us here.
And more. In between classes, you'll
Love
be
this
able
courtyard.
to explore the castle famous for its secrets, enchantments, and mysteries.
I'm looking for the magical staircases. Where's the hall with the changing staircases? Where is that?
You'll discover dungeons and secrets.
So the first time, I think there's another area. The first time I saw this, I thought it was Gringotts because it's got those like rails and the carts and stuff. But this is supposedly under Hogwarts, which is interesting.
Passageways, as well
Like, how's this under Hogwarts?
as challenging puzzles that will require magical skill and a clever mind to solve.
I love this because this feels like very classic Harry Potter game where you would like flipendo the portrait and some kind of secret passageway would open up and then you'd go in and you'd find a wizard card or something. Are we collecting wizard cards in this game? Really just excited to see what they do with this.
You may even find yourself in
Oh,
iconic
the kitchens! The kitchens!
locations you've never been able to explore before.
The prefect's bathroom. I love this. So does this mean we're going to be a prefect? Or we know a prefect who gets us in here? Also, the faucets are all supposed to give out different bubbles. And if I can't do that, I'm going to be sad.
It's the late 1800s, so while the common rooms and classes may be familiar, most of your professors will not be. However, you may recognize a few faces.
All in good fun.
What is on this plate that he's carrying?
Once Sir Patrick lets me join the Headless Hunt, I'll be right there with them. This offering is sure to win them over.
Are you in a cemetery? Does Hogwarts have a cemetery? Why do I feel like it does? It either has a cemetery, and I don't quite remember, or it's a fanfic that I'm thinking of that it has a cemetery. But apparently in this game there's a cemetery.
Don't forget why I'm here, sir.
You'll come to know this eclectic group of talented witches and wizards in class and while
I assume that's Professor Binns?
completing side assignments that are part of a special curriculum. One's designed to help you catch up with the other.
Okay, this is interesting, because this isn't class, but some form of minigame?
The fifth years at your own speed.
Ooh, are we going to be playing Quidditch? Because that'll be fun.
Lumos.
That almost looks like the statue in the Chamber of Secrets, but that's definitely not the Chamber of Secrets. I think that's definitely not it.
Opportunities for adventure abound in the area surrounding
Where is
Hogwarts.
that?
The magical abilities you learn to master through your schoolwork will
That was a pretty tree.
soon become tested as you unravel a dangerous mystery by working
What is that?
alongside the accomplished
What is that?
and yet enigmatic Professor Fig.
Okay, Professor Fig. I've seen nobody mention this. Fig is the name of Harry's neighbor on Privet Drive. She's a squib, and she watches over him. And this game takes place in the late 1800s, so this could be her grandfather, maybe? Because the Harry Potter books take place in the 1990s, so this could be like her grandfather or her great-grandfather. I'm like super excited to find out about her family.
To try and discover if the rumors of a mounting goblin rebellion hold any weight, and if the safety of Hogwarts lies in the balance.
I have. Opinions differ as to how great a threat he really is.
Ranrock's loyalists are capable of so much more than people realize.
The wizarding world of this era is fraught with dangers.
I do have some slight reservations about this goblin rebellion, because the goblins they're definitely a suppressed minority group in the magical world. They're there really aren't, I mean, they're treated as second-class citizens, and they're sentient people in their own right. They're just a different species, and they rebel. They've had several goblin rebellions throughout the history of the Harry Potter world, and because they aren't treated fairly, like wizards they won't allow them to use wands. They're treated as magical creatures instead of magical people. Like, it's not, they have a right to be rebelling. So I'm a little hesitant with how they plan on handling this. It does sound like the goblins are siding with these dark wizards, which is, you know, when you want to overthrow the status quo, you the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So I hope that there is a dark wizard aspect to this too, and this isn't just fighting goblins, because I have some hesitancy about how they're going to handle this rebellion.
Creatures corrupted by a magical force, powerful goblins, and sinister witches and wizards, all willing to fight, even kill, to achieve their own goals.
So what is this rebellion that we're fighting against? And is it really evil? Because like I said, I have reservations, but I hope that they can handle it well. You can be fighting for the right reasons and doing the wrong things. So we'll see. We'll see.
In fact, there's an uneasy alliance between the goblins and dark wizards.
Yeah, uneasy alliance. So maybe they're not really happy working with each other. But what's going to be accomplished here? Because the goblins aren't completely in the wrong. Is that going to be addressed or handled in any way? I don't know.
You said you could get to the child when they came to Hogsmeade. That all you needed was a distraction.
Which I think was that troll that we saw at the beginning?
I gave you a distraction.
I just watched a student take down your distraction. Who is this child? Are you not telling me?
But perhaps you shouldn't involve yourself with that just yet.
Let's go.
What is that? That looks like a ruin.
Incapacitate you.
Yeah, I really wish we had a UI here to see like what the heck's going on. There's an R1 over here that I just noticed. So how's this gonna feel while we're doing combat? And what are we exactly doing with the controller while we're doing combat? That's what I want to know.
Mastery of the shield charm allows you to deflect ranged spells and direct weapon strikes.
They're talking about mastery, so there's different levels. Like, we're going to have these spells, but we're going to have different levels of them, of our ability to perform them, it sounds like.
Defender! Upon
Counterattack with powerful stunning charms, allowing you to follow up with extended spell combinations.
It sounds like we're going to be doing combos as well. This R1 keeps hanging out. I don't know what. I'm like looking for hints of UI here. Oh, the R1 was on this block. So maybe we could have levitated it. Maybe we could have levitated it and thrown it at someone?
Students who become particularly
See, it's over here too.
adept at spellcasting will find many ways to exploit their enemy's weakness.
That's interesting. Yep, there's it on the barrel. He just picked that up with R1 and threw it at him.
Slam with Descendo. Roast with Incendio. Devastate your enemies using various finishes.
So how are we unlocking
You can even
finishers?
use the mysterious, powerful magic your professors do not understand to obliterate your strongest foes.
What does that mean?
Mixing and matching dozens of spells will let you define your combat style. On your path to become the ultimate duelist.
Yeah, so I have my reservations about the combat, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see how it works out.
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time.
In addition to classes and spells, you'll have access to a deep set of upgrades, talents, and skills.
So I have this, but they don't really tell you what they are.
To aid your progression as a wizard. Complete challenges throughout the world to earn experience. Level up your abilities by choosing talents to upgrade your spells, plants, and potions to increase their power. Decide which talents best fit your playstyle to allow you to focus on your favorite types of magic. You can
So we must be pretty powerful because an invisibility spell is not supposed to be easy to pull off there.
also loot, buy, or craft your own magical gear that will increase your offensive and defensive capabilities in combat. Gear can be upgraded and specialized to allow for greater.
I do wonder if these items we're collecting, it's not going to be crafting. There's resources all over the world, I assume. There's just going to be hidden items. I could be wrong. We have to. Those mushrooms aren't going to be everywhere that we saw him pick up. They're just going to be in special places, and we have to spot them, I guess. Curious how this gear is going to work, because our Hogwarts uniform is kind of standard, so I'm not sure what gear exactly we're going to be upgrading.
Abilities for your chosen playstyle.
Use a strong, even motion when crushing your ingredients.
Yeah, so it's crush your ingredients. How are we going to make this not monotonous? I don't know.
Spells are not the only tools at your disposal in combat. As you hone your wand skills, you can continue to further your magical education at Hogwarts.
So that looks like something we can brew. Yeah, 2 minutes. This is something we can set potions to brew and then come back and collect them later.
Progressing your development as a witch or wizard. Brew potions that can increase your power when you need a boost.
So that's a rock armor spell?
Grow and deploy magical plants to mob the battlefield and keep your enemies at bay.
That's kind of cool. I love that.
You can even unleash deadly mandrake seedlings to incapacitate unsuspecting enemies. In Beasts class, you will learn about a variety of magical beasts you might encounter, both at school and as you explore the world surrounding the castle and its grounds.
The goal of today is to remind all of you how to maneuver on a broomstick safely.
So we do have flying. Don't know if we have Quidditch, but we do have flying.
Learning and mastering broom flight is highly recommended so that you may travel around the world more quickly.
I want you to do my herbology homework.
You're despicable.
Some abilities may be taught to you by students who become your friends. As you develop relationships with these schoolmates, they can accompany you on your journey as your companions. And over time, you'll learn their stories.
Why does her robe have rings on it and yours is different?
This is our chance.
Natsai Onai is a brave adventurer driven by the justice she seeks. Poppy Sweeting has a kind heart and loves magical beasts, connecting with them more easily than with humans.
But what happens now?
Unafraid of detention or breaking the rules.
Is that Peeves?
The restricted section.
That's Peeves!
Is Sebastian Sallow, a charismatic Slytherin.
We've been over this, boy. Hufflepuffs cannot reverse a curse.
With a troubling family secret.
So it sounds like he's cursed. Somehow. In some way, shape, or form. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Nothing can. The sooner you accept that reality, the better.
You'll meet these students and more as you explore common rooms, hallways.
I also love that. So I'm hoping that we're going to meet all of these students. So you've got Hufflepuff, Slytherin, and Gryffindor. Hopefully there's a Ravenclaw thrown in there as well. Like, inner house friendships and connections. Like, I want to see more of that. Like, that needs to be a thing. And so that's really exciting. I'm hoping these aren't like, oh, if you're in Hufflepuff, then you hang out more with Poppy. And if you're in Gryffindor, you hang out more with, whoever. I'm hoping that everybody will see all these characters equally. And we'll get to interact with the different houses as a player, not just be confined to the house that we pick. Because inter-house relations is something that really needs to be a thing.
Between classes and regular
and I really want to
areas.
see. Oh, was that the changing staircase area? Looks like it might be that I've been wanting.
And regular gathering areas.
Welcome to the Room of Requirement.
One of the most remarkable secrets of Hogwarts is known as the Room of Requirement.
I love this so much. This was such a smart just decision of like, oh, I need to train. Room of Requirement. I need to make potions. Room of Requirement. Like any kind of customization or crafting needs, of course your character would get it in the Room of Requirement. It makes so much sense.
You're introduced to this space that seems to sense what you need and then provides it for you.
It's fantastic.
Since you need to catch up to your peers, the room provides space for you to sow and harvest plants, brew potions, and upgrade your gear.
I love it so much. That's cool.
A helpful house elf named Deke helps you discover vivariums that allow you
also, like, we're gonna befriend a house elf. I love it. Please and thank you. Please make Deke like a good friend, please.
You to nurture your own menagerie of magical beasts.
What is it? Deke isn't sure. Only one way to find out.
You can freely customize this space to reflect your personality and magical specialties.
So I assume some of this is just going to be optional. Like, I know a lot of people are way into the customization stuff, and I don't necessarily care. But, if you're going to throw magical creatures at me to care for, then I'm going to be all over that, so... No, look at the kitty. Ah, we're flying a hippogriff. And there's a dragon.
Not everything you need on your journey is available at Hogwarts. You'll want to visit the nearby wizarding village of Hogsmeade, where loads of shops and vendors can provide you with the supplies you require.
That'll be really cool, like visiting the different shops. Like, I have that memory from Chamber of Secrets where you could go in Diagon Alley, and Hogsmeade should have loads of stuff and people to interact with, and like shops and things to go into.
From potion ingredients and recipes to seeds for magical plants.
I wonder if we're not going to see Diagon Alley. We're just going to get thrown right into Hogwarts, and this is going to be our world. And Hogsmeade will basically take the role that Diagon Alley might.
To all sorts of gear. But Hogsmeade also has its dangerous side. A band of dark witches and wizards, emboldened by the turmoil of the times, wander the village outskirts.
Although we do have to get our wand, so who knows.
You must avoid them or defeat them.
Yeah, so who are these dark wizards? What do they want?
As you explore, you'll find the world surrounding Hogwarts is alive with activity, wonders, and areas of unusual interest. As the school year progresses, dynamic seasons and climates will fill the sky with lightning or sunshine.
This is really interesting.
Or coat the ground with snow or rain. Unique wizarding hamlets pepper the countryside, each with vendors and residents who have stories to tell, and missions with which they could use your assistance.
This looks so huge, and there's part of me that's like, how can they possibly pull this off? But if they pull it off, oh my goodness, if they pull it off, it would be so wonderful. I think this has been in development since like 2017.
Be on the lookout for enchanting magical puzzles that may very well have been designed by Merlin himself when he was a student.
Are we going to notice these puzzles? Like, if that was just on the ground, that little... I'd just walk over it. How would I notice that that's a puzzle?
At Hogwarts. Magical beasts roam the lands outside the castle walls. Some have been corrupted by a mysterious dark magic.
Oh, we have corrupted animals. You guys are freaking adorable.
While others are at risk of poachers and their traps. If you're feeling benevolent, you can rescue them and restore them to health in the
Thestrals, yes!
room of requirement.
Wait. We as a character, do we have a story reason for being able to see these things?
But there are dangers beyond.
See, this is what made me think Gringotts. And you're in a goblin. You're in a thing with a goblin. So are we going to be restricted to Hogwarts and the area around Hogwarts, which it sounds like they're expanding the area around Hogwarts to be much more lively than we ever imagined it would be. But this looks like Gringotts. Is this Gringotts or is this under Hogwarts? What is this?
Your understanding in the world as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a dungeon.
Dungeons and vaults hold perilous threats and also untold rewards. Be careful where you choose to explore, as it may lead you down a darker path.
Now that is interesting. How are we going to learn that? They said be careful where you choose to explore. So what are we going to find? I saw some people mention possibility of a morality system. I hope there isn't a morality system. Not like one that actually tracks your morality. Like KOTOR, you have the light side and the dark side, and it tracks where you are. I'm all for like good or evil choices, and the game doesn't track those. You just make those choices, and it's a more organic process. I don't want it to track Paragon versus Renegade. Like, I don't want a system. But choices, in-game choices, and choosing whether to have a dark twist, and maybe there's multiple endings, or maybe companions can hate us. I'm all for crafting a story that way, but I definitely don't want a morality system, and I'm definitely not going to be going evil, but I'm glad that option is there for people who want it.
Master spells. Befriend new allies.
Okay, so that is exciting. We have some good goblins happening. That's good. They're not all evil.
Journey across a landscape never seen before. Uncover ancient secrets. Combat mystical threats. Learn long-forgotten mysteries. Become the witch or wizard you want to be as you leave your unique mark on the wizarding world. Here, in Hogwarts Legacy.
So it just sounds like we're going to be able to explore as we want and do what we want and craft our character as we want, and it's very exciting. I hope they pull it off. I really do. So, do we think it's going to get delayed? Take your bets.
That was your first extended look at Hogwarts Legacy. Now let's hear from the real wizards and witches behind the game.
What is it? Like all this stuff they put in here, I'm just like, what is it? I need to know.
The attention to detail and the passion and the love for this brand that the team has is astonishing.
Still don't know what that is.
So excited to take all of the love that they put into this as fans and give it to fans.
This is the game that they've dreamed of for 20 years.
So that scene right there with the sorting hat, there's not a hall of students, so maybe you're not in the middle of a sorting ceremony, because normally there'd be a bunch of first years waiting their turn.
The lore of the wizarding world is already so rich, and all we had to do was harness those elements and build a game out of it.
The movies, the books, they all touched me in such a way. Like, it makes me want to go to experience Hogwarts. It makes me put in so much more detail into this game.
Yeah, so is that an extension? What did I just click on? What is this? It's beautiful.
We really want to make sure that anything we add or anything we play with or anything that we explore really feels authentic.
Bringing to life just the charm and the love, everything we have for the books, and then marrying that with the iconic experiences from the movies that fans will recognize.
Love it.
Is really just the perfect handshake between the two.
Who's headmaster in the late 1800s? Because Dumbledore is like 100 years old, so who was headmaster before Dumbledore? Because I assume Dumbledore's not going to be in this. Maybe a young Dumbledore? That would be interesting.
Just the discovery of like seeing things portrayed for the first time. Maybe they've read something and had a picture in their head the whole time, but then finally to get...
These are in... I know I should know what this creature is, I just don't.
To touch it, to walk around it.
You've got all these elements that can come together to create this amazing AAA open world action RPG.
I'm so excited.
When it comes to the open world, we just knew it wasn't going to be enough to just stare out of the windows of Hogwarts and wonder what it's like out there. But the final question that fans ask is, what's beyond that? What's beyond the Forbidden Forest? What's going to be beyond...
There's a cemetery.
Hogsmeade? What's beyond the Black Lake if I start traveling south? And we just felt like we had to answer those questions.
So I love that. I love the question of what is beyond. Okay, so this is the map that they give us. No, go back. Go back to the map. I wanted them to talk about it.
We had to answer those questions.
So, okay, Hogwarts isn't on this. I thought this was like the world map, but I don't see a castle here to indicate Hogwarts unless this is maybe the lake and Hogwarts is over here. But I also don't see Hogsmeade. So I thought this was the world map, but maybe it's bigger than this. They did not reveal. Okay, so these are, so these are numbered 5554. So it's bigger than this. This is only region 5 and region 6. Okay, all right. So they're opening this up. And I really don't want open world clutter. Like, I want to be stuff to explore and to find and people to talk to, but I also don't want it to just be just pointless filler all across the map like so many open world games are. Like, I want it to be rich and I want it to be worthwhile. This excites me and concerns me all at the same time. There's so much.
We're started with rereading the books. And over
I almost feel like I need to reread the books before I play this game.
development, we reread the books many times.
New wizarding world that no one's ever experienced.
When people engage in the wizarding world,
I'm very curious as to what the heck, what have they surrounded Hogwarts with? What have they put here? I really want this to be good. I really want them to pull it off.
We truly hope you enjoyed the Hogwarts Legacy State of Play. Our team is so grateful for the excitement and for the passion that all of you bring to this. It's truly what fuels us. On behalf of our team at WB Games Avalanche, we want to thank you for being here today, and we'll see you at Hogwarts.
There's a statement.
That's our show. We hope you're excited for the magic.
Back here.
Experience Hogwarts makes me put in so much fans.
This is the game that they've dreamed of for 20 years.
So, okay. That point right there. There was the Goblet of Fire Harry Potter game had come out. And they were the game developers were working on the Order of the Phoenix Harry Potter game. And the developers reached out to the fans in the forums of a website called the Leaky Cauldron and took feedback from fans and were like, what kind of Harry Potter game do you want to play? And it was really like the Order of the Phoenix video game is a direct response to what fans wanted, and that is beautiful and amazing. But the one thing that fans continuously said was, we want a Harry Potter RPG. We want an RPG. We want to be able to roam around Hogwarts and explore. And the game developers were like, we want that game too. But with the movies coming out, we have to make these movie tie-in video games. And maybe someday in the future. So this isn't just like, this is a game the fans have wanted for years. This is a game that developers have wanted to make for years, and it's so exciting to like to just finally see it come to fruition and be here. And it sucks that it has to be overshadowed by J.K. Rowling and her transphobia, and just like it sucks. It absolutely sucks. I personally don't feel like if everybody in the world was to boycott this game and like no one bought it, I don't think it would hurt her. She's got a friggin' theme park, and movies and toys, and I don't think, I feel like this is just a drop in the bucket for her. But regardless, I do think it's kind of like the thing with Bobby Kotick and Activision and the abuse that employees have suffered. And, people were asking, do we boycott Activision games? And the developers are like, yeah, this is a horrible situation. We're at this company that's done some really horrible things, but at the end of the day, the thing that keeps us going is knowing that, we're putting our time and our energy and our hope and our dreams into this project and these games that mean so much to us. And it gives us hope knowing that you guys are going to play and enjoy what we're putting all our time and effort into. And like, we want you to play these games and enjoy what we put out. And it's ultimately, she is going to profit from the sale of this game. She is going to get money. She's going to get royalties, which is based off of, she gets something from sales. I don't know what that breakdown is, but that's the reality of it. She's going to get something from the sale of the game. I do think for people who are worried about that, you could easily just, take the money that you match the money that you paid for the game and put it into a trans organization. Make a donation, and you will easily surpass whatever J.K. Rowling is going to get from the game. Like, she's not getting $70 off of a game purchase. She might get, like I said, I don't know the royalty breakdown. She may get pennies, but then when you have millions of games sold, it adds up fast. So I don't know the whole breakdown from it. This is something that fans and developers have wanted, and this world and this community has grown so much beyond J.K. Rowling, and people's lives have been changed by Harry Potter, and trans people have found solace in this world and in this community. And I just don't think that we can let J.K. Rowling just ruin this experience. And if you want to avoid this game and you don't want to play this game and you don't want to hear about this game or Harry Potter ever again because of J.K. Rowling, I totally understand that. But I also think the viewpoint of, I'm going to enjoy this thing, screw J.K. Rowling, is also valid. All of that said, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm a big fan of the original Harry Potter games that came out, not so much as the movies progressed, but if you're new to this channel and you're coming to my channel just for this video, I have a Let's Play of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on PC, and a Let's Play of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on PlayStation 2. I love those games in particular. They are very dear to my heart, and I'm wanting to go back and replay them now. Because of this. This is just great, and I will definitely have a Let's Play of this on my channel for sure. So keep an eye out for that. I hope you're all excited. Please discuss in the comments. I will chat with you down there. Thanks for watching.